If you were asked to use the neo-pronouns of someone who identified as transgender, would you do that?
Look, I'd be really respectful in opening up a conversation that we're not allowed to have, especially if it's a young person. What's really going on in this country is nobody's reaching out to say, what's wrong? Like, what's going on in your life that causes you to latch on to these identities? That's really what's going on. I think that's what empathic conservatism really entails is most kids who are suffering from sort of gender identity that, by the way, was created for them by adults telling them to be confused. There's something else going on. What's going on? What's wrong at home? What's wrong in family life? What's wrong in the way your educational experience is going at school? What's wrong in the classroom? Let's actually help people understand when they're so hungry for purpose and meaning and identity and they latch on to these pronouns. We actually have to be empathetic and understand there's probably something deeper going on either at home or at school or in between. So I think that rather than being hostile, my answer is not just to bend the knee to the orthodoxy, but I would want to help that person. You know, gender dysphoria is really rare. It's existed for all of human history, but that's extremely rare. Most people who suffer from gender dysphoria today, it was actually just a created gender dysphoria by our culture. And the irony is that the very movement that wants to exhibit empathy because gender dysphoria is such a source of suffering is actually creating far more suffering amongst the next generation Americans. And I think we just need to be more empathic to say that, you know what, I care about what psychological struggle someone's going to that leads them to think that their pronouns are the most important part of themselves, when what we really need to do as leaders is get to something deeper and fill that vacuum of purpose and meaning in the heart of a generation that is missing it. And you know what? This is where I think the revival of faith, the revival of family, the revival of national identity, that's what I care about in my capacity as president of the United States. That can fill this void of purpose and meaning in that next generation. And the reason we latch on to wokeism or gender identity or climatism or COVIDism or whatever is really because it's just a symptom of that deeper hunger for meaning that we're still missing. So that's what I would do.